What's up, guys? We're back with another interview. It's been a little bit, but we're excited to be back with you guys. I'm Joshua Harmon Sr. We got a special guest over here, Bailey. I'm Joshua Harmon Sr., principal broker and owner of Harmon Real Estate Company. And we have Precious Rodgers here, owner of Carpos Juicer. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Thanks for having us.
Nice to be here.
So we have a special guest over there, Bailey. So if you hear him crying a little bit, it's all right. You just got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. But we have Precious here. She's owner of a Carpos Juicery. A lot of meaning behind the name. Really want to dive deep into her business. So tell us a little bit about Carpos, where the name comes from, how you got started, how long you've been around. Just give a little bit of context.
All right, sounds good. So Carpos Juicery, I actually just recently reestablished my name this year when I decided to legitimize the business and really kind of go full-fledged into it. It was inspired by the Greek word that literally means fruit from the Bible when talking about the fruit of the Spirit. And I chose that name just because that's really the drive behind the business is operating in a way that mirrors the image of Christ and that kind of leads people towards living a happier and healthier life. So that's where the name comes from. I officially started the business in January, but it's something that's been a passion of mine for years. By education, I'm a speech language pathologist, and in January, I decided to become a stay-at-home mom to spend some time with my newborn son, and I saw this as an opportunity to really chase after some passions that I have, and juicing is one of those passions, health and fitness is another, and this business kind of allows me to encompass all those great things that I love and give it to people in a way that they can enjoy and just be happy. So
I like that. So for me, having business with purpose. I think a lot of people try to force their way into force businesses that aren't natural. And that's really where the disaster happens. And us as millennials, we see things in a social media scope and we tend to force them. We're like, oh, they're doing it. It seems to be profitable. Let's go try to do that. But there's no meaning behind it. That's where things kind of fail. So I think that's awesome that you have not only meaning behind the name, but the business.
Yeah.
And just time, family, God, or just, in fitness all together. I think that's really cool. So for you, juicing, how did that come about though? Because fitness, God, that's all cool. But where did the juicing kind of idea come from?
Well, honestly, the crazy part is when I first started juicing, I was kind of scared into doing it because back in probably 2016, I was living in Florida, and I had finished my master's program, moved to Florida, took my first job as a speech pathologist out there. And when I was out there, although when I was back home, I was really into fitness, working out and stuff like that. But when I got to Florida, I kind of laxed and met new people, and we were going to restaurants every day. And I put on some weight while I was out there. And that was right around the time that people started watching these documentaries like Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, Cowspiracy.
What's the one about McDonald's?
Supersize Me. So it was around the time everybody got into watching those documentaries, and I watched the one called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and it was about a guy who went on a 30-day juice fast. He had, diabetes and some other things, and he went on this juice fast, and by the end of his juice fast, he had completely cured himself of all these ailments of just taking in the nutrients from fruits and vegetables, for 30 days.
Why is that? Because I feel like we all we have that stuff in our diet. Why is it that, is it just we don't have enough of it? What is it? What's your opinion?
I honestly think it's the amount that you get to intake at one time, because in one bottle of juice, you're liable to have 4 or 5 carrots in there, a stalk of kale in there, like 2 apples in it. And so nobody's gonna sit there with a plate of all this produce and eat it. Like, you're just not gonna do that. When you eat, carrots, you might have half of one chopped up into a little section on your plate. And so you're gonna eat that and you think you're getting like this mass amount of nutrition, but you're really not. And so juicing is a way that even though you're not getting the fiber from it, you're getting the nutrients like right away. It's super absorbed into your system, and I think that plays a vital role in how people are kind of using juice to not only just help them live a healthier life, but to reverse ailments. Like it legit, and it's a legit thing that people experience. Even some of the top influencers right now, like Tabitha Brown, she's super popular, vegan. She talks about just some of the benefits of juicing in her life and how, you know, the craze for it is really, the demand for it and the craze for it right now is really popular, but it's not something that's just a fad. And in my opinion, it's not something that's just a fad that people do for a little while and it trickles off. Like, people are seeing the benefit of it and really making the incorporation of it part of their lifestyle. Yeah.
I agree. So for me, I agree with that. I think that I intake vegetables. I drink, even like water for me, because I don't know a lot about juicing fruits, vegetables, but I know a lot about drinking water. You should drink about 8 bottles of water a day, or 8 cups of water a day. That's a lot of water.
Yeah.
A lot of people would drink 1 or 2 bottles and think, I did good today. I had to kick it up from just a small bottle to a liter of water and trying to drink 3 of those a day.
Yep.
You see, so for me, I think I can kind of equate that. People are intaking, fruits and vegetables, but just not enough. And this is an opportunity for them to lead that healthier lifestyle without having to suffer through, oh man, I gotta keep eating these vegetables. And then on top of that, you don't always finish your plate.
Yep.
And if you ain't gonna finish one thing, it's gonna be the fruit and vegetable. So I want to backtrack just a little bit. You talk about speech pathology. Talk about that. How did you get into that? Tell us a little bit about your credentials and what led you into speech pathology. I think that's a cool way for people to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So I actually started out college pursuing nursing, and I thought that was what I wanted to do. I got accepted into nursing school, spent a year in nursing school, and decided that I really didn't think it was for me. So I got out and kind of just did some research for that next year to figure out what I thought might be a good fit. Found speech. I mean, immediately got into the program, loved it, and that was kind of history on how I became a speech pathologist. But and that's also a field that I'm super passionate about. And right now, it's not part of what I'm doing right now, but I always have a love for it. I love my primary audience or clientele was birth to 18, so I work with kids.
Yeah.
And so I'm passionate about it. I love kids. I love helping them with speech, whether they have a diagnosis of something or if it's just a language delay or feeding or whatever it is. Like that's always been a passion of mine, and it even drives me in this business because of I feel like now I can kind of work more on the education side of feeding and nutrition and all those things that actually play a big role in my career as a speech pathologist, and being able to educate parents and push people towards making those dietary changes that will benefit their children and benefit them alike. So
because it starts with the parents. For me, we talked a little bit off camera. My son, Joshua Jr., he has a speech impediment. And at one point, we were like, man, something got to be wrong with this kid because he's just off the chain. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And his frustration, we found out just through a little small change, my wife would do 100% juice, less milk. Instead of doing 2% milk, she started doing organic milk with no dairy in it. And we started to see subtle changes in them, real subtle. And then now, as we kind of phase him out of that stuff, we see drastic changes. Putting him on the schedule was one of those things. Validating when he can't say what he wants to say, he's getting frustrated. But then also just dietary, not giving him all the things that he wants. Instead of just the Scooby snacks, give him 100% fruit snacks. Different small things like that. So I want to implement juice, and for you, I mean, obviously we're not giving anybody any, advice in that field right now because every case is different.
Sure.
Do you feel that diet is a part of some of the kids' frustration, and I wouldn't say part of the problem, but do you feel like it plays a factor into some of the issues that some of the parents are seeing?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. And I think that's something that people, especially across the medical field in itself, whether you're a speech pathologist, a nurse, doctor, or whatever, I think we can all kind of agree that when you think of the body itself, we can't with the eye see what's going on inside. But even for babies, we know that there's telltale signs of there being an internal issue by the way that they express themselves on the outside. You know, whether they're gassy or whatever, like they're gonna show you on their outside, you know, that hey, something on the inside is not right. And I think we deal with that a lot of times. We kind of can overlook that within our fields or professions. We're working with kids of like, hey, if you know they've been drinking soda and juice boxes and stuff all day, and we're trying to figure out why they're super hyper or why they're crashing or why they're, you know, and we don't realize that hey, their system might be overloaded with processed sugars or whatever it is, and those. And sometimes it's hard for parents because kids are very vocal in telling you what they want. Yeah, and they're very expressive in rejecting things that they don't want. So you might have a parent who says, my kid will only eat chicken nuggets. And you know, within my field, that's something that's common, especially kids who have other ailments like autism and things like that. My kid will only eat this, you know, they will only eat that. And so within my field, we actually do therapy. Well, within the speech field, we actually did therapy with parents who would do that and trying to introduce their kids to more foods and stuff like that. So most definitely, their internal body, I definitely 100% believe that affects everything else.
I agree. So Joshua, he's still to this day, he breastfed milk. That's his thing. Loves milk. But then we found out it really isn't milk. It's just a drink. It doesn't matter. Juice, water, milk, he don't care. Once we broke him out of milk, really, we started introducing organic, non-dairy milk. Oh, I don't like that. Give me a juice. So then we were able to introduce 100% juice. So I think the next phase for him, we're going to introduce some of the juices that you have, the different fruit juices, and see if we can not only, if you're going to have that fixation, at least make it healthy. Taking fruits and vegetables all day, do it. Go ahead. As much fruit juice as you want. Go get you one. Put a straw on it. Drink all whatever you want. So I think that's really cool. And I think not only adults, because we started out talking about adults, fitness, all that stuff, how much you need to intake. I think children are the same way, leading and showing them how to lead a healthier lifestyle. One day they'll understand, man, my mom's been giving me 100% fruit juice since I've been a kid. And that's something they can take on to their adulthood. And I think it starts early. Do you agree with that?
Oh, totally, 100%. I do.
Cool. So next thing, let's talk a little bit about fitness. So for you, fitness is something that you're very passionate about, and I think a lot of people get on social media, see the girl with the abs and doing all that stuff and doing all these crazy workouts. Do people need to do those things? Do people need to do those crazy workouts, the crazy ab workouts, the squats, and do all that stuff? What do you feel, in your opinion, is necessary and needs to, not only just women, but just people in general, how can they lead a healthier and more fit lifestyle without doing all that stuff?
Well, one thing that I'm doing now is kind of relearning everything that I kind of set as these established presets in my mind for fitness, because I had a baby 6 months ago, so that totally kind of changed everything. Like when I, pre-baby, I was the, fitness all out, trying to do everything, the image of what I thought my body looked like was so important and all that stuff. And then having a baby kind of really flipped everything on its head for me, just because our process was really, it was really tough. I kind of got to a point to where they wouldn't have, I couldn't work out the way that I was doing.
And then on top of that, you had a baby during COVID.
Yep.
You can't just get back out to Planet Fitness and do all the stuff you're doing. Everything changed. You got a new baby. The world is different. Your mind is different. everything is just different, and you have to kind of adjust to that.
For sure. I mean, 100%. I've had to adjust everything, and even after I had the baby, and I was at the point where I'm like looking at myself, and I know I look totally different. You know, I gained 80 pounds during my pregnancy, and I'm just now kind of getting a lot of that off from becoming active again and getting out and stuff. And so, getting down to the point of where I am even now of just when I decided to go back into training and stuff, I was like, man, you don't look like a trainer anymore. Like I was struggling with that mentally.
Yeah.
But I also realized, and some of the videos and stuff that I put out, is that this is a great opportunity to not only journey myself back to where I want to be, but show people the journey of what it means to
just document everything.
Yeah, to show people the journey. Like you said, you get on Instagram and you see the model and you see the jock who they have 8-packs and 6-packs and they're doing all this crazy stuff, and you like for the average person, they looking at that person like that's not achievable.
It's not attainable.
It's not, it's not attainable, but it really is. But you gotta have grace for yourself. And it's, as far as the whole image is concerned of it, I honestly think when you adopt the idea of having grace for yourself and knowing that wherever you are in your journey, you control whether or not you go any further or where you regress or whatever. And there's no cookie cutout of what a healthy person is supposed to look like. Like that's one thing I'm realizing, that you don't have to be the 6-pack ab guy in order for you to be healthy or in order for you to be in shape. Mm-hmm. You can have a little bit more muscle on you or whatever, or less muscle, whatever. You can be a runner, a sprinter. They're usually skinny. So, it just depends on pretty much operating within the internal body. If you feel healthy on the inside, you go to the doctor and they're giving you a clean bill of health, you're staying fairly active, I think you're in a good place, So if you want to be the fitness guru, by all means, go for it. But it's not a requirement in order for you to be healthy and to be happy and to be fit.
I agree. And just like for me, I'm 6'4.5", 205 pounds, but I was telling you on the bean pole. Mm-hmm. So people may say like, oh, he's, mm-hmm. This is just my genetics, yo. Mm-hmm. Like I never have to work out. I'm always gonna be skinny and shaped, 6-pack. I was 12 years old with a 6-pack. I never did a sit-up. That's just my genetics. Yep. I think a lot of people need that. Need people like yourself to be more vocal about, this is in shape, this is fit, this is healthy, this is what I am. Like I lead a healthy lifestyle. I eat my fruits and vegetables. I work out. Mm-hmm. My heart is healthy. I get regular checkups. My doctor's telling me I'm healthy. Yeah. Instagram and Facebook can't be your doctor and your fitness coach. It can't be. So I think that's really cool. And just documenting your journey and allowing people to see that is very important, because other people are struggling with some of the same things you may have struggled with 6 months ago.
I honestly think that social media is a blessing and a curse. Just because a lot of times when you're looking at that almost unattainable image, you set yourself up for failure in so many ways, because people will not see themselves progress as fast as they want, or if they progress and then regress or plateau or whatever, it kind of sets people up to
they don't have that grace for themselves, like you said.
Exactly.
So I think that's awesome. So just kind of to wrap up, how do people get in contact with you? How do people order your juice? How do people learn more about you and your business?
Okay. So right now we are a delivery-based juice business. So you can order online. If you put into any search engine, you can put in Carpost Juicery Square and it will pull up our site. We also have a link attached to our Facebook page, so you can find that Carpost Juicery on Facebook. It pulls right up. And we are locally based right now, so we operate within the Fort Smith area. I also deliver juice weekly to Rags and Roses vending store in Greenwood, Arkansas at 100 North Main Street. So if you're in that area, you can find juice there every week. We kind of set a delivery amount and deliver out there. So you can find us there as well.
Awesome. Facebook, social media?
Yep. Instagram, Carpo's Juicery, everywhere. Carpo's Juicery.
Awesome. So I'm gonna, as soon as we finish this interview, I'm gonna keep my word. We're ordering some juice for the Harmon household.
Yeah. And you asked me earlier about who this juice company was for.
Yeah,
I kind of just wanted to touch on that a minute because I wanted to kind of stress the fact that it's for everybody. You know, it's something that whether you're looking to get fit, whether you're looking to just increase your diet with fruits and vegetables, try something new, whatever it is, like we're that company that kind of has everyone in mind. We want everybody to feel comfortable. We don't want anybody to feel the pressure of it being a diet or anything like that. It's not. You can just have a juice on the go. You can eat it with your dinner as a snack, whatever it is, and just kind of enjoy a beverage that you can feel good about afterwards. You know?
I think that's cool. A lot of businesses, they kind of have their target audience, and some people don't feel welcome. That's what we touched on. You know, whether it's just living a healthier lifestyle, whether it's for fitness, whether it's for kids, anybody can benefit from fruits and vegetables. It came from the earth.
Yeah.
You need to intake those supplements and take those things so you can lead just a healthier lifestyle. And then on top of that, it's just natural. It's just natural, and it make you feel good. So I think that's something a lot of people need to just implement. So I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Thank you so much. Good old Bailey over there. You gonna miss this interview?
He did a good job.
You did a good job. Thank you so much all for tuning in. I hope you guys, get on her website, give her an opportunity to show you how she can benefit you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time.
Thank you.